What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you are new here, please make sure you go ahead, slap that like button because it helps support the channel. Also, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my upcoming reaction videos, cute videos, music videos, all that fun stuff here on the channel. If you haven't seen the other episodes that I've reviewed on the Jeffrey Dahmer series, please make sure you check them out. This episode, titled Silence, shook me to the core. So many themes that mean so much to me in my life are coming up in this show, and I'm shedding so many tears. The fact that Brian Murphy spent so much time writing out this episode and it being so actually, I noticed that Janet Mock directed it. I wonder if she wrote it too. If you don't know who she actually is the director of a lot of the episodes of Pose. So very amazing artist and producer, director. But this was absolutely iconic. The family bonding in this episode broke my heart. The fact that he took so much time to show us who this character was, what the deaf community was like within the gay community, and how much his family loved him and his hopes and his dreams. Oh my gosh, the fact that this whole episode I was just hoping he would get away. I was hoping he would not go into the house. I was hoping he would not meet Jeffrey, and he did, but it's like at the same time, like, he was looking for love, he was looking for something special, and he was faked out by Jeffrey, and it breaks my heart. And the whole time he was looking and he was confused about what he wanted, I did not want him to find Jeffrey. And then when he found him, I did not want him to go in the house. And then when he went in the house, I did not want him to go back in it. I can't believe he came back and forgot his keys. Oh my gosh, it was too much to handle. It really, really was a roller coaster of an episode. You feel for the family, and then it just gets you. The fact that, like, this is the episode that they go do, like, a behind the scenes and give you the chance to get to know one of the victims really gets your heart going and makes you think, like, okay, what was it like for the rest of the victims' families? What was it like for the rest of the people who were hurt in this whole series? Like, this is the only time we're zooming in on the family and what the dreams and aspirations of one of the victims. So it makes you think about all the dreams and aspirations of the other victims that he hurt and the lives that were connected, the brothers and sisters, the moms, dads. It's just so much. And then at the same time, we have this, like, subline storyline going on with the dad, who is just always, like, he really, really wants the best for Jeffrey, and it breaks my heart also. Like, again, like, I'll never have, like, any type of, like, remorse, like, for Jeffrey at all, but I do feel something in my heart for his dad. And just as, like, a parent, I see that he's trying everything in his power to change and flip this kid's life around, and there's nothing he can do, and he starts to realize that it's not him, it's Jeffrey, and that realization breaks his heart. And even as a parent, you want to be the one to change their destiny, to change their future. But he tried so hard. The dad is trying so hard to make him a better person. Like, he's putting his foot down any minute he can, but Jeffrey is just too, he already knows what he wants. He knows what he wants to be. He knows who he is. And I think that's the scary part about the whole series, is that no matter who changes him or who he meets, he's always going to be that monster on the inside. And even though he fights it and does certain things to suppress it, it's always going to be who he is. And you see this in this episode more than any time, because he's looked for a way to not be lonely. He's looked for a way to have someone in his life that he cares for. But even when he finally finds someone who's really special and comes in, and he hesitates on drugging him and all that, at the very last minute, he still just turns into that monster. He still just cannot fight these urges, and it breaks my heart. So I was, like, crying so much. I got to know this young man in the deaf community so bad, and then it was just making me think about my own life. It was making me think about how, like, I would love to give someone who is deaf or blind, like, the chance at love, and the fact that they may feel so lost and they may feel so alone in this world just breaks my heart. And, like, the fact that he, like, fell into the arms of a serial killer because of this is just, like, oh, it hurts me. Like, I wanted to be the one to date him. I wanted to be the one to take care of him. Like, I did not want him to go into Jeffrey's house. I did not want him to go back for those keys. It was killing me so bad, but it was also just a huge awakening. Aside from, like, the serial killer storyline and all of that, and family and love, it was also just beautiful to see, like, how deaf people interact, and then especially deaf people within the gay community. It's not something that I have come across, but it is something that, like, I care for and I feel for, because I think any of our senses are so important. I think we all, in a way, as a society, take them for granted because we don't know what it's like to not have them. So when I see episodes like this, and I see the way that Ryan Murphy directed it in a way so that we can understand what it's like to be deaf within the gay community or death in general, it really just made it all that more special. I felt so much a part of what was going on in this episode, and it made it so much harder to accept what happened at the end of it. But I guess it was somewhat of an inevitable fate. But I did, in the last couple episodes, I noticed that one of the guys did get away and he was good to go. So I was like really hoping that this guy would get away. And when he left and he didn't come back for the keys at first, I thought he was gonna make it, and he came back, and it just, oh, I just can't take it. It just hurt myself so bad. And like, I'm a mama's boy, so like seeing the way the progression of him and his mom's relationship from when he was a baby all the way up until when he got murdered, it was just breaking my heart. Like, I could feel his mother's stress, I could feel his family's stress. Like, when you're like the heart of a family, in which that young man was, it destroys and hurts and traumatizes way more than you could ever know. Like, that young man was so sweet, so gentle, so kind, and for that to be taken advantage of by Jeffrey is just like, it's soul shattering. Like, you literally want to jump to the screen and change things, and then like, that's what makes it not okay that like his father failed and that he's not a deep member of society. Like, this show is such a roller coaster because they keep showing you scenes where like you feel for Jeffrey for a second, you feel for his family in a second, but then you see what he does and you see the way he can flick the switch so quickly, and you're like, no, never mind. Like, send him to jail. Like, you go back and forth, and I think that's what's making it such a good show, such a good series, is that, as I said, literally in episode 1 review, like, Ryan Murphy has this gift of like giving you details of certain things and letting those details be the reason of the bigger picture. So we're seeing so much behind the scenes of the victims' lives. We're seeing so much behind the scenes of Jeffrey's lives, and all those little details matter. Like, those are the reasons why they're making decisions that they're making on the screen. And this episode just blew me away, like literally shocked me and had me in tears. I feel so badly for the family. I feel so bad for anyone who has been taken advantage of for being deaf or blind in general. Like, not just murder, not just, you know, the worst of things, but just in general, just being taken advantage of by society, or not being looked at as society as a normal or healthy person. And I was so happy to see that this young man had dreams of becoming a model, had dreams of getting out of the town and becoming something special. Like, that meant so much to me because he didn't have a long life at all, but it is really special to see that in the short life that he lived it shooting for those dreams, even at a young age, like just going for what he wanted to do, even with the deficiencies that he had. And that just warmed my heart. But then broke again when he didn't get out of the apartment. So it's a lot to take in. In a way, I almost can't wait for me to be finished this series because it's very dark, and like, I'm someone who's like super positive and super upbeat. So like, I can do like, you know, a horror movie here and there. But 10 hours of this is definitely taking a toll on me, and I will get you guys the review of the other past episodes. I actually like binged a couple episodes last night, so I'm a little late on the reviews, but there was a lot that happened, a lot to unpack about his childhood and teen years and stuff like that within episodes 3, 4, and 5. But I woke up and watched the 6th one, and I had to come give it to you fresh in my mind of I thought about this episode titled Silence, which was probably one of my favorites so far, just in terms of storytelling and things that I didn't know. Really amazing. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys go and check out all the episodes that I already reviewed. Check out the channel, subscribe, be here for all the fun, and I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Let me know in the comments down below if you're enjoying the show and if you want me to continue the reviews.